And we are back. And Lucia has just walked out, and she's stumbled upon Charles and Trenton talking amongst themselves on business matters. And proceed.
So, I believe our next objective was to speak to Sergeant Walden, was it? In the police force?
Which would most likely be the best case concerning either his involvement with the sheriff or the safety of my student's sister.
Very well. Then let's hurry. For her sake, I suppose.
Yes.
Yes.
All hail a taxi!
Actually, Charles might remember that he does have the Volkswagen that he borrowed from Red Scarlet here.
I never did return that, did I?
It is still
yes,
there, parked in the quote-unquote staff parking area.
Parked and running.
Not running, but parked.
Wait, is it a Beetle?
No, it's not a Beetle.
Oh,
Okay.
I was gonna say, we could fit 1.5 of us in it.
What is it? A
What
Jetta?
is it?
Actually, I don't know. Hold
Wait,
on.
is it a van? Is it
I would love a van.
a wagon or whatever?
Volkswagen? Yeah. The vehicle of the generations. That is proper German engineering, yeah.
I'll say this is exactly to the T what it looks like.
Don't give us something ridiculous, please.
No,
It's
give
not
us
ridiculous.
something ultra ridiculous. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile or something.
No, that car alone has a fame rating of 5.
That's true. It is epic. It's epic tier wheels. Oh, that thing.
It can be one of the wagons if it has the bunk up on top.
That is exactly what you are driving. A Volkswagen GTI.
Straight
Oh.
from that. It's a Eastern European dream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that couldn't keep up with the van. Charles, you should have chased that van.
I did chase that van. I don't think you understand what those vehicles are. Or maybe I don't with my very limited mechanical knowledge, but that doesn't look like a speed demon to me.
And also, I don't know how to work a stick.
That's true entirely. I was just spinning my wheels at a red light.
Wait, so is this car parked outside of Elysium right now?
Not outside
It's
of
in staff
Elysium,
parking.
but in the staff parking lot.
Are we
Well-
at the car right now?
Well, I jangled those keys and perhaps suggested that we take that. It'd be more expedient than constantly hailing taxis, and, you know, I will have to return it eventually.
Yeah, let's take a look at your horse.
Of course.
Okay, so you guys go and you pile into the Volkswagen. You start her
Ooh,
up.
she's a beauty.
Yes, a beauty. I say as it sputters to life and smoke.
Are you having
kicks out.
trouble with this?
I'd have to be honest and say that it's not my vehicle.
Out of character, Trent has engine specialty.
Uh-huh.
Can you drive? Do you have any ranks in drive?
Yeah, he does have ranking. Oh, wait, let me see.
Because I don't think Tybalt can even drive stick. I have no ranks in drive.
Well, drive
he-
is just like stunt driving.
Oh.
right.
Well, I knew that no ranks you can still drive like a
Well, no,
standard.
I would say you need at least one rank to drive a standard because not everybody can drive a stick.
Trent has one dot and drive.
Then yeah, you know how to drive a stick.
Would anyone else care to? I'm not for this particular model.
Oh yeah, I'll take the wheel.
Please. Crawl into back or whatever. It's not the most elegant.
All right.
Trent's really giddy right now because he hasn't driven a car since he
Ever.
was alive. Since ever.
Okay, you go and you start her up. Vroom. Right.
Oh, she
I assume
purrs.
you are going to head to Eden PD.
Yes.
I'm assuming.
That was our destination.
Okay.
So you guys just show me the way.
I'm guessing since Lucy is in the passenger seat, she will give directions.
All right. After a couple of moments of driving, you arrive outside the police station. It says Eden PD in big bright letters, illuminated by the backlight of the sign. I'm assuming you stop, you park, and you get out.
Unfold out of it.
Lucia steps out and she calmly waits for everyone else to step out.
Miss Cole. Perhaps it would be best if I waited outside. I believe this individual happens to know my face, as you calmly made mention not so few times.
That would probably be wise.
I'll wait here and guard the escape vehicle then.
All right. Trent, please accompany me. Your particular clan may connect more with their primal nature.
All right. And Trent throws the keys to Charles.
All right.
Take these.
Remember to be on your
Just in
best
case.
manners. Yes.
All right. The pair of you go and you step inside. As soon as you step inside, the officer that's there at the counter looks up. He's like, "Yes."
Lucia
Eyebrow.
gives him a soft smile. Hi, I was wondering if we could speak with Sergeant Weldon.
Sergeant Walt. Well, I'm afraid he's out on the beat at the moment. Can I ask what this is in reference to?
My friend here has some information regarding a case that was called to his attention last night about his sister. It was like her apartment was attacked or something, and we heard that Sergeant Weldon was the one on that case.
He kind of blinks a bit. He goes, "All right, I can lead you to the waiting area, and I'll give him a call and I'll see if he can come in."
Thank you. That's awesome. That's wonderful.
I'm gonna catch a smoke real quick while we wait. But Trent goes outside quickly and puts the knife in the car with Charles rather than carrying it into the police station.
Okay.
Lucia waits for him in the lobby.
He comes back quickly though.
Yeah.
This must have been a fast smoke. The officer comments.
Yeah, I
Well,
realized I didn't have any cigarettes left.
Oh, that happens. He goes and he motions out for one of the other officers to go, and they lead you to the back room. Down a narrow hallway to the back room. You can tell that this back room is like a gray, kind of typical seated off area. There's one seat inside, and then there's a solid metal table, and then another seat across from it. And he goes, "You can wait here for him, and I'll go ahead and give him a call."
All right.
You
She nods and
you
steps
can
in.
tell by your just common sense that this is an interrogation room.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There a mirror.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, these places bring a real blush of life to people, and then she just activates the blush of life.
Yeah! Pun.
Yeah.
Trent would Trent.
Trent, wait, okay, hold on. As Trent goes and he looks over towards the mirror, he can see that his own visage is very distorted, very ghost-like, almost as though it ceases to exist in the reflection.
He quickly. But does he know? I mean, he's new.
Yeah,
But-
Lucia just gave you a hint. I'm sure she has
Okay.
told him about the blush of life.
Right.
She just dropped a hint so her own reflection would show up on mirrors and cameras right now.
Okay, Trent does the same as
The
quickly as he
delicious
can.
pun.
You
As soon
suddenly
as he
see
sees that.
you see that ghostly image slowly fade, and you yourself come into view.
Now, did we spend blood to do that?
Yes.
Yes. One
Okay.
blood point.
Oh, I'm as handsome as ever.
You look as
Um,
good as the day they found you.
After a couple of moments of waiting, suddenly the door opens. You see a balding man in his late 30s walk in, Caucasian. He seems to walk with an air of confidence and authority. He walks in, removes his shades. "I'm Sergeant Daniel Walden. What can I help you with?"
Hello, officer.
Hello, officer. I'm glad you could meet us on short notice. My friend here is actually needing to ask you any questions concerning a case of yours that he may be indirectly involved with.
Trent looks really distraught too. Yeah, officer, I'm really concerned about my sister. There was a an accident or something at our apartment. When I came home late, we had trouble. Or there was trouble there, and everything was wrecked up, and my sister was gone, and we think something awful happened. We want to know if there's any information on this.
As you go and you talk, you can see that he sits there in the seat, cracking his knuckles one at a time. I see.
Do you recall anything happen? Any information coming into the office?
Basically, where his sister is.
Well, your sister, as the case may be, is currently indisposed of. We're trying to track her down. Her particular whereabouts are unknown to us. However, he goes and he moves to his other hand, cracking his fingers there. There is a matter of... How could I put this delicately? He goes and he scratches his chin for a bit. The matter of the strange forensic evidence that we found at the scene of the crime. I'm sure if you were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Whatever do you mean?
Was she attacked, or was it like drugs, or?
He goes and he kind of smacks his lips a bit. We're really gonna play this game, are we? You expect me to believe somebody who just strolls in off the streets is automatically gonna know about a case that I am intimately working on that is off the records as a favor to a friend of mine. That only brings further questions to my mind. For example, what is your real motive here?
Lucia smiles and goes, the case may be is that we're working for Sheriff Graves.
Really? Because I'm working for her. And we can't both be working for her, or at least not the same case. Because if there's one thing she knows that I hate, it's somebody stepping into my territory.
And that's exactly why we knew to come to you.
Only person walking into someone else's territory were the criminals that came into my apartment and harmed my sister.
He goes and he kind of looks down at his nails. Alright. Let's cut the bull and let's get down to business. Why don't you tell me what you know, and I can tell you how accurate you are.
I can only give you so much of what I know in exchange for what you know. And that's, there's either been a murder, in which case he has a personal vendetta, in which case there has been a breach of a mutual treaty between the two of us, in which both of our respective organizations are intimately aware of. That's a very horrible thing to happen. Or there has been a setup and there's a traitor in the midst.
He kind of goes and he sighs. That's the problem with your kind. There's always a traitor in the midst. At times Sergeant. I think Jillian's the only one who's respectable out of the whole lot of you, and that's only because I knew her before.
Sergeant, man to man. I mean, this is family. I'm sure you have family yourself, am I right?
Yes, and I keep close watch on them.
And as I was, it was one night someone invaded our space, and now I'm just left with a lot of questions and a lot of worry for where my sister's at.
I can, in fact, give you a little more, if that would help your investigation, sir.
Of course, you scratch my back, and I will, of course, scratch yours.
The information I have is as vague as best as I can give, given that they didn't give me anything. But he received a call not a few minutes ago indicating that his sister was going to die tonight.
Is that so?
Who are these people?
Well, truthfully, son, he goes and he folds his hands in front of him, I have no idea. And when I had received the call from Jillian, I moved to the apartment as soon as I could to investigate. There was a strange person at the door who I know for a fact did not live there. The scent was off. When the person became a little suspicious, I of course forced entry. As far as what this person wants, I do not know. But if they have your sister, you have less time to act than you think.
Do you have any leads that we can dig into ourselves? Perhaps any of your pack mates have any information for us?
Well, we do have rumors that there is apparently a renegade pack in the area. One that does not follow the treaties that we have in place. And I'm fine with that. Whatever they want to do is their own business. But when it violates our business, that's when it becomes a problem.
Where are they from?
Well,
Would you say that this supposed rogue pack violated both our interests, and thus we have a common enemy?
it's possible, except a lot of what I saw at the scene did not make any sense.
I
Like
bet
what?
they're-
Well, he goes. See, the funny thing with your kind is you're dead, long since dead. And as being dead, you've lost a connection. A connection which me and my kind gladly hold on to. We can see what was and what is past. From the looks of it, your sister had a guest over.
What kind of guest?
Well, I'm not
Activating
entirely sure myself. The nature of these things is not always 100% concrete. But
Better
then
not have been a Deva. That was out of character. I'm kidding.
But then there was another knock on the door. Somebody else came into the apartment.
Which
Forcefully.
there was two people.
The first was welcomed in. The second forced their way in. From what I can tell, a scuffle of sorts ensued between the first visitor and the second visitor. Almost as though the second visitor was trying to protect your sister, if what I am reading is correct. Now, this particular individual is unknown to me. His scent does not make sense to me. He goes and he kind of sits forward in his chair a bit.
And this, you don't think, is there connection between anybody that was there that night and these renegades?
Well, like I said, the only information I've received about these renegades is very, very minor. And I don't know much about them. Like I said, my pack is currently involved with protecting our borders and our territories. And investigating this pact is our top priority, unless a call comes in from Miss Graves. Which, as it happens, it did.
Lucia raises her hand to kind of interject.
Now,
While we are doing our own investigation for Miss Graves, following a different side of things, perhaps a sharing of information might lead us to solidify the culprit in this matter of a possible breach in the masquerade and maybe a sundering of our treaties. So I don't suppose you'd be willing to part with a forensics report or anything containing any data that may help us, locate any areas of interest specifically designed to wherever rogue packs may wander or this friend of hers may have come from. I don't know if you have any information on this friend of hers.
As I said, this person sent was unknown to me. As far as forensics goes, that's already been submitted to the lab. I can't touch that unless there's a subpoena or a court order. Bureaucracy and all that jazz, don't you love it?
But you kept a record on file, right? Just information on paper.
Of course.
Could I get a copy of that?
Well, you see, I really would love to give out this information willy-nilly like, but that kind of goes against my code of ethics. Nothing personal, ma'am, but this is my first time meeting you. And if what you're telling me is accurate, then you still need to prove yourself to me that you are truthfully working for Miss Graves.
She nods, and she pulls out her notebook and writes down her phone number and hands it to you. I actually left a note at Miss Graves' office herself, consisting of basically that I need to speak with her myself. If you get in contact with her, please let her know that I am trying to get a hold of her, as she has proven quite elusive.
Oh well, she was actually headed down to the warehouse 13 to be exact. She told me she had a claim to investigate.
Would she still be there?
Well, she called me maybe 10 minutes ago.
This is excellent. This is actually more information than I was expecting. If we can get a hold of her, we can collate whatever we may find. We may be able to find who kidnapped your sister and possibly if there's a rogue pack. I gotta make sure I gotta run it through her first.
Well, if Miss Graves is investigating something, I would advise you to stay out of her way. You know, any tampering, or at least any unnecessary tampering, might hinder or hamper her investigation. But if the sake of that poor girl's life is in danger, fight before flight. That's what I always say.
Seeing as unfortunate as it may be, we are on the shortest timer we have until the night is through to find his sister.
Well then, if the warehouse is your best lead, then I would suggest you to take it. You know, I can't exactly send the boys in blue, and for one, that would violate what Miss Graves is doing. For another, we'd have no jurisdiction, no probable cause on the record.
That is more than understandable, Sergeant. However, if you do find anything that may help us lead to the location of his sister, do not hesitate to call my phone.
Sergeant, can I ask a favor?
If it is within my power.
If something goes down at the warehouse, can we trust that you'll keep some things hush-hush between us?
Everything that involves Miss Graves has been hush-hush since her passing.
Okay, good. Lucia, I think we should get going.
We've taken more than enough of the Sergeant's time in his own investigation. However, this provides new angles for us to investigate from.
Thanks so much, Sergeant.
Alright then. By this time you go, while you're talking to Sergeant Daniel Walden, making your way out, so what have you. Charles is in the car, making a call.
Wait,
Yes.
before we leave, Sergeant, Trent opens his jacket and says, "Sergeant, smell me."
He goes and he quirks a brow.
Can you just smell me really quick?
He goes and he leans in and he takes a whiff of you and he kind of pulls back.
What is it? What do I smell like?
Shit.
You don't smell right, son. You smell like fire and brimstone. All manner of death seems to follow you. Now, I'm used to smelling your kind before, but what you smell like seems to brood something terrible.
I shouldn't have drank that shot of Synthesol. You nothing like you've ever smelt?
Now, I've smelt it once before.
Where?
He goes and he kind of looks back. Look, another time perhaps your sister is her life's hanging in the balance. I assume, you know, if all goes well and she's all happy and still alive at the end of the night, come back. We'll touch base on whatever we need to talk about.
All right, Sergeant. I hope to see you soon.
All right then. By this time, talking to Charles, who is on his cell phone, as the case may be.
Yes. I am calling my other contact.
Your lawyer.
Yes, my lawyer.
Okay, you're calling your special contact?
My special it's now secretive apparently, but yes, my special contact.
All right.
Who is unnamed, I believe.
Is it really secret?
It's a secret. Do you know it?
No, I don't.
Then I guess it's a secret. It was meant to be a secret, but now it is.
Does she
All
work
right.
at the strip club?
She works at all the strip clubs. Apparently it's a she.
Well, first it was a man, and
Now,
well, you know, whatever floats their boat.
exactly.
All right,
But is
you go ahead and you make the call. Go ahead and give me a contacts roll. Real quick,
what is a contacts roll?
just flat up,
Just contacts?
just contacts.
Oh,
Oh.
that's only one die.
Chance dice. As long as it's not a botch, you're gonna make contact with her.
Well, that's only one die.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, as long as you don't roll a 1, she'll answer.
Oh, well, it was a 9, so there you go.
Nice.
This is Alona speaking.
Hello, Miss Alona. This is Charles Tybalt. Do you remember me?
Yes, Charles. How are you?
Wonderful. I'm doing just fine. And yourself?
Can't complain. I still got a pulse.
Yes. Well, Miss Alona, I was wondering if you were free later this evening. I have a bit of information I'd like to discuss with you. Perhaps a bit of a bargain could be struck.
Charles, I'm flattered, but you're just not my type. You know, I prefer men with a pulse.
One day I'll get past that conniption, miss, and then, well, we'll see what's happening then. But no, this is more of an information gathering mission. I'm hoping you can help me find someone.
Who are we looking for?
A friend, a relative of a friend specifically. I believe I can get some of your special little pieces, hair, things like that. Yes.
Yes, if you have anything with a sympathetic connection, I can
That's
surely
what it's
be of help.
Of course. Will you be free later this evening? Perhaps. Oh, I checked the time. It's like what, midnight or something, or
Yeah, I'll say it's about midnight.
say around 2.
All right, I'll meet you at the usual place.
Very well then. I would tell you that I'm waiting on bated breath, but
The usual place, of course, being the purgatory. Since
Yes,
that is
yes.
since that is a neutral ground for all supernaturals.
All right. Farewell, Mr. Lemon.
She hangs up, and by this time, you see Lucia and Trenton walking out.
Hold on, real quick.
Yes. Oh crap! I just dropped it.
All right, back.
Okay, welcome back.
Sorry about that.
What did you drop?
No, because he said hold it real quick,
Ah,
and I said, oh, okay, and I was like, oh fuck,
I
I
got
just
it.
dropped it.
whap, whap. Well, Miss Cole, Mr. Maddox, was your investigative endeavor of any success?
Actually, believe it or not, it was.
Ah, cause for celebration.
She, in fact,
But by this time, I'd like to point out in character it is exactly midnight,
Dong.
which means you have about 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours if you're pushing it, of time before sun rises.
yes. It does this point that she pats Trent on the back and goes, "My student here, through his own natural demeanor, actually helped us win over the captain, as it were. I am actually very proud of him."
Politeness stare down. Wonderful, Mr. Maddox. That's surely a great success. A great step into understanding our little society. I toss him the keys and step to shotgun this time. I'm not sitting in the back.
All right. In fact, our next location is directly to Miss Graves herself. However, we must tread lightly because we are on Order Dracul territory, and whether or not that implicates my covenant of anything is yet to be seen. However, we may have just caught our sheriff in either a trap or an ambush. So we must hurry along if we are to find Trent's sister, because I feel that maybe only the sheriff may know where she is.
Yes.
So
only
let's go to Warehouse 13.
up, Mr.
All right.
Maddox.
After a short drive, you arrive in the warehouse district. Are you going to pull up directly to the warehouse, or are you going to pull up a bit of ways? How are you going to do
Smash
this?
through the door.
I don't know. Are you guys going to smash through the door?
No. I ask him to park if I can find the sheriff's car. Vehicle. Mode of transportation.
Dragon.
You look around, and no, it doesn't seem that you can. Not at least
Okay.
in this immediate area.
Then park across the street from Warehouse 13, so if we have to run away, the car's right there.
Okay. You guys go and you get out of the car. You see that there's a single light that's left on towards the steps of the warehouse, and of course they have those big loading docks there.
Yes.
Seeing as how this is an Order Dracul warehouse,
Uh-huh.
would I know like the Order Dracul entrance or like anything that I would need to do in order to actually step in without?
No, not really. It's just a normal warehouse in that regard. It has its own set of passwords and keys and what have you. Pass keys, so forth.
Would I know any order basically any of the Order Dracul like typical passwords or anything such as such?
Dracula, Transylvania.
Actually,
Blood.
no, you wouldn't. They haven't trusted you with any of their knowledge in that regard, just because you have yet to establish yourself within their status.
Well, I don't like their sect of the Covenant anyway. My sect was so much cooler until I came to New Eden. Fine.
I
then.
like.
If they don't want to share their clubhouse with me, fine.
All right then.
Anyway, yeah. Let's see if we can't find the office entrance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The office entrance is the one that the lone light is lighted on. It's essentially where they come in and out.
Yeah. So we head over there. I don't open the door. I knock on the door.
Are we expecting any trouble? I ask casually.
There doesn't seem to be any response as you knock.
Not trouble per se, however, letting them know that there are people arriving tends to keep people from flying off in frenzy. And with that said, she tries the door to see if it's locked.
It is open.
And she opens it slowly.
You go and you step inside, and the entire place, or at least in this office area, seems dark. Not
Could
unnaturally dark, just dark. The lights are
yeah,
off.
could a use of Auspics brighten it up for her?
Or the use
It,
of a light switch.
it wouldn't brighten it up, but it'll increase your sense of smell and possibly natural night vision, which is natural sight.
Yeah, she's gonna activate Auspics and basically sniff around for vampires.
You do smell one vampire, although it's very faint and it's not in this room. It's off in the distance.
I guess I'm gonna follow the trail ever so carefully.
Okay, what are the rest of you doing?
Standing in the dark. Dominic?
Can Trent use his merit for? Does he have he has like a danger sense
Mm-hmm.
merit?
Yeah.
He has 2 dots and oh god, I listed it as merit.
Danger sense is a merit.
Yeah, he has a danger sense, but okay. Can he use that merit right now?
Well, it's considered passive, but
Okay.
you do sense that there is a tension in the air. It does seem unnatural here, like something is ill at ease.
Lucy, I don't know about this place right now. I'm sensing something bad. Something uneasy.
It is a small risk that we may be running into danger, so we must keep ourselves at the ready. If you have any weapons on you, I advise you to keep them close but not out.
Should we be tiptoeing around this place right now?
I don't like tiptoeing.
Lucy is moving very carefully. She's not moving like all sneaky, like tiptoe conspicuous, but she's just moving, very slow, very gracefully. She's following this vampire scent.
All right.
Presumably gangrel?
Presumably. It seems a bit off. It smells like gangrel, but it also smells a mix of something else. Something foul.
And I suppose we're keeping the lights off for good reason.
Well,
I find myself comfortable in the dark.
the scent itself actually leads you out of the office and into the actual main warehouse area itself.
Well, I'll follow behind.
As you go, there are a couple of security lights that are on that just, that they usually have on in the event of break-ins, what have you. All right.
I'm sorry. Did you look? You said you looked for a camera. Security. I missed that.
Oh no, I just said there's a number of security lights, like whenever you go into a building when it's essentially closed down, they have a couple of lights that are on, like in off places, like in case there's a break-in or whatever.
It deters burglars, makes them think somebody's home. Then nobody falls for it and whatever.
You go and you start pressing through the large crates that are here, trying to find a pathway, following the scent. Is anybody doing anything of note at this moment?
Lucia is keeping an eye out. Like she's following the smell, but she's trying to keep an eye out for maybe anybody hidden that may ambush them, or maybe signs of a struggle or.
Okay.
The same.
Suddenly, all the security lights go out. You're getting complete and pitch black, and then you hear the sound of a single light comes on, showing down right in the center of the area.
I pitch immediately to the right.
You can't see what it's looking down at, but you can tell that that there's a pillar of light that's just showing down from one central light source.
Could Lucia perhaps make her way to the light, but not directly to the light? Maybe an alternate route where maybe it won't be obvious that she's heading there. Also, can she do that as stealthily as possible?
Well, if we're gonna do that, then we have to do stealth rolls.
Yes.
All right.
Climb on the ceiling.
All right. Go ahead and give me a dexterity plus stealth then. What about Trenton and Charles?
Trent is approaching the light head on,
Okay.
Lucia got 2 successes.
but stealthily.
Okay.
Tiptoe,
I'm going
tiptoe.
straight for it as quietly as I can.
Well, Lucia is also like trying to stick to shadows, so she's like,
Okay.
hidden as possible. She's moving in shadows and silently.
Keep to the shadows.
You see. Oh, and Charles.
I'm going to stick to the shadows on the outer edge, but keep the light within view. Kind of a circuitous route around the far right side.
That's what Lucia's doing.
No, you're taking an alternate route towards it. I'm keeping my distance from it. I'm not moving towards it.
Oh, okay.
All right then. As you go and you make your way towards the light, each from your various paths. Trenton is the one that sees it first. A chair within the center of the light, and sitting in the chair seems to be none other than Rebecca, sitting there, squirming, tied up, her mouth gagged, her eyes blindfolded, her arms tied behind her back.
Rebecca! Trent shouts out.
You can see her kind of go, and she squirms a bit, trying to see where you are, but obviously she's blindfolded and muffled.
It's me. It's your brother. Don't worry, we'll get you out of here.
I'm afraid I
He-
can't let you do that, Mr. Trent.
Trent freezes in his tracks. He was running up to her, but he stops.
Directly from behind her, where the light is cascading down, you see Miss Gillian Graves step out. You see, this is always the hardest part of the job. Upholding the law of the land. I suppose it's not your fault entirely. I need to talk to the prince about your teacher, your mentor. Clearly, she didn't explain our traditions to you very well.
What kind of rule allows this to happen? You're hurting my sister.
Well, true as it may be, Trent, you yourself are in violation of the first tradition, the masquerade. Do not reveal yourself to those not of the blood. Doing so forfeits your claim to the blood.
Of course.
So, it's very
How could I help that?
it's very hard to let your mortal life go. But you
But
must
she-
make a decision this night. Either you will die so that she might live, or she will die so that you might live.
Can Lucia see this?
Yeah, Lucia can see this.
Okay. Doing her best to remain in her hiding spot.
Sneak
Lucia,
attack!
no, not sneak attack. Lucia calls out, but then you must make the same decision for violating the same first rule, Sheriff.
Of Rottingham?
Pray to me.
She goes and she looks out. By this time, she goes and she kind of looks off to the side and she nods, and all the lights in the warehouse come on. You do see that there's also a couple of more figures up on the catwalk. Two on each side, both armed, of course. Ah, Miss Cole, was it? Step forward. Surely you must take some responsibility in all this. I mean, it was your hand. It is because of your doing that poor Mr. Trenton here must make this decision, whether his life is more important than his sister's.
But could you say the same yourself? So unwilling to give up your former life that you stuck to it despite the first tradition.
You have no proof of this?
Ah, but I do.
Enlighten me.
Why should I give myself up so easily when you're so willing to put a neonate to the sword for what could possibly be seen as the slightest fraction of a violation which could easily
I
have been
work
taken care
on the
of?
prince's authority. If you have a problem with the way things are run, you best take it up with her. This is all her doing.
Oh, but is it? Aren't you afraid of the oncoming storm? Isn't this just more about the same?
This is about upholding the law. And in this city, I am the law. She goes and she smiles.
Would you say you're above the prince then?
As she
Keeping your ties with the Eden PD? With Sergeant Weldon?
Walden.
Well, yeah, Walden.
Whatever.
That is, of course, part of our arrangement. The prince is well aware of this. In fact, it was with her consent that this was done.
So you keep, not only do you keep your contacts with your mortal PD officers on a small basis, you claim proxy over the prince's decisions.
Of course, that is exactly why I am sheriff. She goes and she reaches into her jacket and she pulls out a revolver, very similar to the one that Charles has. And she cocks it back. But it is enough about my affairs. This is all about Mr. Trenton. So tell me, Trent, what will it be? Your life or hers makes no difference to me as long as law is upheld.
You're not taking either of them.
I wonder
Oh,
how your
the balls on this boy.
I wonder how your former partner would feel at the death of an innocent. Would you say that the treaty might be broken then? You willingly violated his territory, kidnapped one of his kind, under his charge, and now are holding them at gunpoint. Wouldn't he be just ever so interested to know just what your new brand of justice is, Sheriff?
This brand of justice is hardly new. It's been around since before even I was sheriff. She goes and she smirks, still holding the gun. Uh,
Wait,
I'm
can
sorry.
I interject real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Out of character. What's the logistics of this? Is she standing next to Rebecca? Is Jillian?
She's standing behind Rebecca, and right now she actually has the barrel of the gun. She's stroking it along her neck.
Okay. And Trent's gonna look. Can he sense anybody else
Oh,
around?
there's people all around.
Yeah. There's
Oh,
there's a once all the lights in the warehouse came on, there were two more I guess men stationed on top of each catwalk, and there's two catwalks on each side adjacent and down.
Where am I relative to all of this?
You're
Yeah,
Charles.
still
Charles
hit.
is actually he was creeping around by the what's it called, by the crates, for trying to keep around towards the outside, as is how I pictured it. But once the lights came on, that kind of whole stealthy thing kind of fell through. Once the shadows disappeared.
Have I been noticed though? I heard no mention of it. Did anyone look at me or make any mention of me?
Oh yeah, you've been noticed. You all have been noticed.
All right then.
It's just that Charles has yet to say anything or do anything, whereas
I didn't know if I
Lucia,
had been.
Lucia is the one who's been very boisterous, and Trent's kind of taking it in stride.
Well, then I'll pace out to opposite one of the others, perhaps, to make a circle
Mm-hmm.
or a semicircle. I just didn't know if I was spotted yet. Okay.
Trent. You want to say something,
No, I'm thinking.
Charles?
I'm planning. No, go ahead.
Trent. Trent changes demeanor a little bit. He seems more worried now. And he's like, "Isn't there any compromise, any agreement, anything I can do?"
Their traditions are set in stone. And in a way, you have her to thank you for it. She goes and she gestures towards Lucia. She made this all possible. This pain that you're feeling right now, this suffering, this is all her doing.
What do you mean?
Well, should she have been a better teacher, you would have known by now. Perhaps you would have protected her for your own sake. Sure, it's hard to give up your mortal ties, but you must do it in subtle ways.
She's a young girl. I had to be there.
But you have broken the silence. You openly admitted our existence, and not just our existence, the existence of all kindred. Except, unlike before, your lupine friend isn't here to protect her.
Can Lucia... Okay. Can Lucia dial 911 through her cell phone, like, as quietly as possible?
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. It's gonna be pretty... I mean...
Obvious.
Yeah, if
pull it out of the
you
pocket,
would
yeah.
have declared beforehand, I put my phone on silent or vibrate or something, maybe, but this would be pretty
Okay.
obvious.
Jillian? Oh,
Um,
Charles. Charles gonna say something.
Yeah. I was gonna kind of pace out here and kind of... Miss Graves, frankly, after hearing your statement, I can't help but find you have a certain point. I see the wisdom in your choice. However, I think you're missing a key aspect here. This is, of course, a rare and signified case, yes? It doesn't happen often. I mean, not many people actually are foolish enough, I say, looking over at Maddox, to reveal such their nature this easily or quickly. Perhaps you would be better served to make an example of this case to some of the newer neonates, some of the who might also make such a mistake. The whole time I'm talking, I want to be pacing a little bit closer, not making huge steps forward, but moving a little bit closer.
She goes in and she keeps an eye on you. The same time she still has the gun. The gun caressing Rebecca's neck.
I mean, surely, as a sheriff, you're validated, so you'll be willing to bring this before the court, and it will only further cement not only your position as of an honest and fair sheriff upholding the tenets of our society, it will serve as a proper example of the fair and harsh rulings of this particular court, and the iron will of the prince to guarantee the safety and solidity of our...
As I said before, I act on the authority of the prince. If there is a debate about the prince's decision, then that must be taken before the court itself. However, my actions exist outside the court, unless rule dictates otherwise.
This is where
Either
Lucia
way,
chimes in.
Either this woman dies tonight, or Mr. Maddox does.
I offer a different case. Ghoul her.
Oh.
Seal her to the masquerade through blood. Thus the masquerade is protected, and he gains his sister.
So tell me, Trenton, would you do that? Would you corrupt the last innocent thing in your existence? Because that's all we are, she goes and she kind of laughs. We're corruptors. We're the taint on these humans. Everything we do out of love comes back to bite us. So take her if you will.
out of character, is it clear to Trent that she's a werewolf?
Who's a werewolf?
That Rebecca's a werewolf?
What
Or is she not?
depends. Is
Okay.
she a werewolf?
Yeah, actually, that's what I was. Trent's gonna. Whoa, wait. Ghoul, my sister. Oh, this is ridiculous and disgusting. What do you know anything about who my sister is? What she is? Is she a werewolf?
Are you asking that in character or out of character?
In character to Jillian.
A lupine.
Can I even ghoul?
This one.
Can a werewolf even be ghouled?
Hardly. You think she is a lupine? She goes and she laughs. Oh, silly, silly boy. No, I believe it's much more complicated than that. Or did she never tell you herself? Haven't you ever
No.
wondered all those nights where she's been going when she goes out with her friends, while you go to attend to your studies, to better yourself in kindred society? Who has she been studying with?
Who?
Why don't you ask her yourself? Oh, that's right, you can't. She's bound
She's
and gagged, silenced, until a choice is made.
Can I speak with her?
I am not stopping you from speaking.
Lucia
Becca.
steps forward from her obviously now revealed hiding spot.
Haha! How about you?
Behold!
Or can Trent talk?
Yeah.
Or is Lucia gonna say something?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
It seems the sheriff here has given you an ultimatum. Either you sacrifice your sister, you sacrifice yourself, or you bring your sister into the fold. However, if you kill your sister, you have to live with the knowledge that you damned her. If you bring her in, any of her actions are cause for your punishment. If you die, then your sister lives with the knowledge that she killed you.
Her life's gonna be destroyed either way.
It was destroyed the moment you went against my teachings. However unjust the sheriff may be, the only way to get through this at this moment in time is to choose. My choice is irrelevant.
I know. I think she would. I think she would want to stay alive. I think she would prefer to be brought in. As awful as that's going to be.
Actually, just out of character, you said she was bound and gagged. Is she still capable of hearing? Does it look like she's earmuffed?
She can still hear.
You could ask her, Mr. Maddox.
But his sister can't respond.
She can nod.
Can she nod?
Yeah, she can nod or shake her head.
I need to let her have some choice, Lucia.
At that point, she turns to Maddox's sister. Miss Maddox, can you hear us?
She kind of goes and you can see that she's kind of looking around, like trying to orient where the voice is coming from.
Just simply nod to indicate yes.
She nods.
You and your brother's life hangs in the balance. A rather corrupt advocate of justice brought you here to force your brother into a confrontation, and lay the blame on me. Either way, your brother can end your life as you know it and bind you to his servitude, or he can kill you, or you can kill him. Do you want to be brought in?
At this point, she starts to weep.
Do you want to be brought in and perhaps save both his and your life?
By this time, all she can do is weep. Her head hung
Rebecca.
sorrowfully.
You said her head does what?
I said she just hangs her head and weep,
Okay.
as you know. Obviously, such a heavy decision has been laid on her.
Rebecca.
Lucia turns to Trent. If you bring her in, I can guarantee her a place to stay.
Rebecca, honey, can you let me know? Do you want this? Is it do you want to be brought in? Is that the best option to you?
She goes and she shakes her head.
She shakes her head.
Yeah.
Then it's just a simple matter of, should you pass on Miss Maddox?
She just continues to weep. For who would ever truly admit, especially in this situation, that they deserve to die?
Or live. Yes.
She turns to the sheriff then. As much as it is, I'm stuttering. As much as an impasse as we are in now, could a substitute perhaps be offered in Mrs. Maddox's place?
The law is black and white, and as I speak for the law, it cannot be so.
The law is black and white, which is why the substitute must be of one of the parties involved.
She quirks her brow. Go on.
You seek to punish Trent, do you not?
I do.
You seek to punish me, do you not?
Yes.
I offer bound servitude to Stage 2 Vinniculum.
You see her kind of go, and she looks back for a moment. Up towards the office.
I look up that way.
That will please.
She turns to Trent, and then she turns to Tybalt, and she goes, if one must sacrifice for one's failed lessons, then let it be known from this. You may corrupt, but you can still sacrifice.
Lucia, do that for us.
And then she just turns to the sheriff and waits.
Her wrist slits, and she holds it over Lucia's mouth, the blood dripping down slowly.
Okay, at this point, here's what Lucia wants to do.
Okay.
She wants to spend a blood point to buff her strength.
Mm-hmm.
Signaled.
Clasp Jillian Graves' arm.
Uh-huh.
Bite into the wrist and just drain her fucking ass dry.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. Wait, there's other people.
No. There are other people. However,
we got this.
Yeah, see, she's buying you time to do something, and she's providing a momentary distraction for you to either take care of the other people or to, do whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so As soon as I see that, I'm going to draw the revolver, and shoot the crap out of one of the people on the balcony.
You have to wait until she drinks first.
I am. I said after I see that.
Okay.
After.
We'll plan this now to say what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
So you're
Well,
gonna
yeah,
Go ahead and decide what you're gonna do now. But before
with
that, let's go ahead and take a little break.
better
All right.
do.